They're off. And Supermo a little bit slowly out of the gates there from stall number 1. And next to him, Musica needs chasing along in the very early strides. Len's Legacy is the rank outsider of this field, but leads up early, heading towards the judge for the first time. Here's Burdett Road on the outside, followed by Musica and French Invasion just in behind those in 4th place. Supermo, after that slow start, is switched to the outside of the field and now making progress into the bend, just moving a fraction ahead of French Invasion into 4th place. A Little Respect comes next. Storm Valley is last but one, and last of all is Barrel Aged as they now race round the turn and head onto the far side of the track for the first time. All the time, Supermo making inroads into the leader, and that leader is still Len's Legacy. Len's Legacy a neck in front. Supermo, though, right there now, on his shoulder in 2nd place. In 3rd is Burdett Road. The pace just looks steady, nothing more spectacular than that, with Musica on the inside. In behind those is A Little Respect. French Invasion just showing signs of inexperience on the outside, and then Barrel Aged and the back marker Storm Valley as they move on then, passing the midpoint down the back straight, and in just over a furlong's time, they'll be turning back towards home. From this point, though, they've got 5.5 furlongs left to run, and the leader's Len's Legacy still. Looks as though Jamie Spencer's quite happy to just get a trail from the rank outsider. Jamie aboard Supermo in 2nd place, who has that eye-catching form behind Dubai Mile here from last year. He's 2nd still and going comfortably. On the outside, Burdett Road now makes a move and forces Supermo to go with him, and these two sweep on by Len's Legacy with half a mile left to go. French Invasion right in behind them as well. He's about to go into 3rd place, followed by Musica and Storm Valley. Then comes Barrel Aged, and the back marker is A Little Respect. Supermo has taken the advantage here. Burdett Road comes under pressure. French Invasion hasn't yet been shaken off in 3rd place, and then in 4th is Storm Valley as they race then down towards the final 2 furlongs. Barrel Aged is in 5th place as they now accelerate inside the last 2 furlongs. Supermo has company. Here's French Invasion powering to the front here. This good-looking horse, huge gallop on him, massive stride, and he's using it to great effect, to devastating effect. It's his first run. French Invasion wins in the style of a really good horse. Supermo's weakened right out of it, but French Invasion, what a taking debut. Barrel Aged was 2nd, Musica came next, and then on their outside was Burdett Road. French Invasion, a sparkling start to the night.
Really impressive from French Invasion, off the mark at the first attempt. As we were noting before, a half-brother to the likes of Raheen House, CFA, Schroer, Born with Pride, they were all seen to better effect. Well, by and large, most of them seem to best effect over these kinds of tests and further, and he looks very much in that kind of mould. When he ranged up to Supermo, you could see he was learning all the time while he was going through with his effort. He's being propelled forward through natural talent alone. I think he's going to come on a bundle for this. And while it's hard to tell exactly on face value of what he's achieved straight away, I think you by and large just think that he might just be a little bit better than these going forward as well. Not just a little bit better, he's streaked ahead. At this point, Supermo has had the race very much run to suit, was rushed up by Jamie Spencer after a sluggish kind of start, and ultimately he was in the perfect position up there under Jamie Spencer to go on. But just like his second to the French Invasion stablemate Dubai Mile, he just hit a little bit of a flat spot coming into it, and has eventually it just faded on his way out of it. He's been pretty disappointing ultimately, Supermo, given that he's had most of the favours just sitting off Len's Legacy, who set the pace. Barrel Aged has run well of the remainder. Musica's also run a fine race just in behind, but they were all playing for places from around about a furlong and a half. Jess, just a very impressive winner for the start of it. What did you guys make of it?
Yeah, well, certainly do. And the Simon Meniere and Isaac Swade train of winners continues to keep on plugging on through the course of this new year. We'll take it from the start. As the favourite Supermo outstalled one slightly slow away. The eventual winner was quick out the gates, slightly keenish in the hands of Jack Mitchell, and they didn't go overly hard either. But you can see he was wanting to get on with it a little bit there.
He was. I think by the end of the night, you know, this might be a silly comment when we've got a good race coming up later. I think this might be the most exciting horse we see all night, personally. He looks a size above several of them. Although television pictures are deceptive, that might be one of the reasons it's taken a while to get into the track. Saying beforehand, there were two horses in particular who were bred for 1.5 miles, as opposed to might get it. You would have been really confident this horse was going to stay at least 1.5 miles, and the way he took an age to pull up, I'm sure he would stay further if required. And the horse at the back who was green early on and ran on for second, which was Barrel Age, the Golden Horn, that's the other horse. But this horse it's from thinking a furlong and a half out he might well win. He's gone and won, I don't know what it was, 7 lengths in the end, and really ran through the line strongly. Now maybe, I suspect Super Mo didn't stay, and I also suspect Burdett Road barely stayed. So I don't want to take them literally that they've run to their form, but I think he had them beat a furlong out.
Yeah.
And he then, through learning the job in the race, he was then really impressive through the final furlong. But he's produced a couple of very promising horses lately, Charlie Johnston. He had one ran a couple of days ago, I can't remember if it was Wolverhampton or Southall, who were really impressive. But
Sax Appeal, yes.
Yeah, and I think this is pretty good as well, I must say. I do think it's potentially a very interesting horse over 1.5 miles plus. And say, look at I know maybe it is the pictures, but he looks a lengthy, tall horse, doesn't he?
Well, we could see it when he was at the post, the size of him, the scope of him, but you always sort of assume you're going to benefit from whatever you do now, and Jack Mitchell probably, you've got to educate these horses, and you don't know what level he'd been showing at home at all, but, looking at the family, Raheen House, Sea of Faith, Born with Pride, begs the question, 12,000 guineas. I
know, fantastic buy. I mean, I know they were associated with jumpers and got a size for that down the line if that's the way they want to go. I thought it was a very good ride by Jack Mitchell as well. In that I think he's tried to educate him. He could have gone on a furlong and a half out and won, definitely. But he tucked it in behind Super Mo, I think, to teach him something before committing him inside the final furlong. And that's a tie-up. I say, keep your eye on that. I do think the Mitchell Johnson tie-up might have some traction in it. But the winner was, I know I'm probably getting more excited than I should do, but I thought that was really taking for a horse who's going to thrive on middle distance. There's no reason at all on pedigree that he won't be every bit as effective on the turf as well. It's mainly a turf family.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the head on now, and 1, maybe 2 slaps by Jack Mitchell just to keep him concentrated. But what I always really like to see at this stage, when you are so clear, is a horse running straight as a die.
Absolutely.
He's not going around the track with greenness. It shows a mature horse. And just looking at, you can always wonder why a horse that was born in end of February he was born in February, so he wasn't exactly a late foal or but potentially just late maturing, being the pedigree that he has. But he's well tuned up for this. But he did his job pretty well, because he broke all right, didn't he? In fact, if anything, he was slightly keen. But I suspect, I mean, the trainer will tell him maybe they've had a setback or two, but just look at the size of him. I think he's probably just taken a while to mature. Possibly. But look, this is a horse, French Invasion, that I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more of, and Charlie Johnston is set down a bit of a marker for how he wants the rest of the season to go, and this horse is another one to go to war with, and this being his 6th winner, as now ahead of that team, and 3-1 for Jack Mitchell, Simon Munoz and Isaac Swade. Barrow Legend was second at 9-1, and the third was Comusica at 28-1. 6 lengths separated the first and second. Jack Mitchell did the steering. Let's go and hear from him after the winning time, importantly. 2-minute 39.71 seconds. 8.21 seconds above the standard. It is cold out there, and that always does make a difference. 0.68 above the standard, furlong per furlong. Nearly jumped to it. I was very keen to hear from Jack Mitchell, but we can hear from him now.
French Invasion has taken off first in really impressive fashion. Jack Mitchell will shortly be making his way back to weigh in and weigh out for the next. He's got a nice one for the stable up next as well in our handicap. Jack, if I could just walk back with you. He looked the part on paper. He very much looked the part on the track as well.
Oh, he's a smashing horse. I mean, see the size of him. He's just towered over every horse in that race. Just very green early on. He actually jumped good. The horse on my outside just sort of came across a bit quick, and he was just caught on his inside, but once got him relaxed and travelling down the back, he just followed the other two, especially when the pace lifted, sort of 4 out, 3.5 out. We just picked up, and when the gap came at the cutaway, he lengthened like no other. So, no, I was impressed.
On profile, that injection of pace 4 out, that looked tailor-made for him.
Exactly. Like we weren't dawdling, but we weren't going a proper gallop. And you know, a big horse like him needs to use that stride of his. And when the pace lifted, and we got stretching sort of as we straightened, and he got into gear quite well.
Chance of a double in the next for the stable?
Fingers crossed. I know nothing about it, so
Maybe speak later. Well done.